All right, the purpose of this video is to talk you through just setting up the speaker stands in the front of the hall and getting the speakers on the stands. So that's the segment that this video is going to do. And the things you're going to need to do that setup are the speaker stands themselves in there and here, and then the speakers in there and here. Okay, so we're in my dining room and living room because I don't have a hall to tape this in. So you're going to have to use your imagination, and the teacher's table, the presenting teacher's table, is going to be up front there. There's three things to think about with the speakers: getting the adapter on the top, where you put the speakers in the room, and setting the legs correctly. Okay, so here's our speaker adapter. What we want is this thinner bit. It's thinner than this pole because our speaker has a smaller hole on the bottom than is the diameter of this center pole. So I'm just going to slide this on and snug this up a bit, and that's it. The teacher's going to be up on a stage in the front of the room, and there's always a gap between the stage and that first row of chairs. You want the speaker to be in that gap between that first row of chairs and the stage. You never want the speaker to be behind the teacher or parallel because you'll get feedback through the microphone. You also want the speaker to be located slightly outside the last column of chairs. Then the next thing I want to do is open up this speaker. You know, I didn't know it, but there is a proper way to open a speaker stand. This thing is called a locking block. These locking blocks are not what you use to keep the speaker stand open. It's actually the position of these bottom bars, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So, oops, I'm going to just tighten up this little tight thing to do this easier. Okay, so I'm opening up my speaker stand. It's easy if you just push the top down. And I'm going to keep opening the speaker stand until these bottom bars are parallel. And that's actually what's holding the speaker in place. You see, without me tightening this is staying in the position that it should be in. But this is a little safety block, so I'm going to tighten the safety block, locking block it's called, and it's just snug. All right, and then this thing, when you're in the venue, you're probably going to move it up like 4 or so notches. For me, I don't have that much luxury because I'm in my living room. But that's good. And I'm just going to move this up. I'm just going to move it up but you'll move it up higher. The position of the speaker is that you want it above people's heads. And the speaker's going to go on here. So I did this without telling you. This thing is the pin, locking pin, is the thing that's going to prevent the pole from moving back down. Okay, so I put the locking pin in place, and then this locking block, the function of this has nothing to do with holding the pole from going up and down. This pin is what's responsible for that. This is just to keep the pole from rotating. So you can just tighten it loosely, just a little snug. Okay, so there's that, and now I'm going to go get the speaker. Okay, so now that we have our speaker stand adapter on, we can put the speaker on it. And there's a hole in the bottom of the speaker, you can see that. And I'm just going to line that hole up and then let it slide down. And the speaker is in place. All right, so here's what we have so far. We've got our speakers. They're located outside the chairs and in front of the teacher stage. And now I'm going to just show you, I plugged in the power source into the speaker. It plugs into the back. That's pretty straightforward. And I want to show you, do you see how I have a wrap? The cord wraps once around the stand. You're always trying to manage your wires when you're doing AV setup. And there's something else I want to show you here too. You can see I have the power cord wrapped one time or a couple of times in a loop below the stand. Notice how I pulled the extension cord because there's no cord close to the speaker stand. So I pulled the extension cord here. I wanted this piece to be underneath the speaker stand. I don't want this to be located here. Later when you tape the wires down, I don't want to have that big bump in the middle of the floor when I'm taping. So I made it so that the extension cord where that piece is going to fit underneath the speaker stand. And then notice the other thing too is I'm running the extension cord back to the wall and I'm leaving the extra extension cord against the wall. When you're doing it in the venue that you're working in, my guess is that you're going to probably have an electrical source close to where you set up your speaker. But if you don't, then you're going to run an extension cord directly back to the teacher stage. In fact, you're probably going to be able to go underneath the teacher stage with the extension cord.